Welcome to Automakers. Let me get everything else going. I have this new filming arm and I don't know how to make it more level. So anyways, give me just a second. I'm gonna get this up on my screen. Hello, hey Stephanie. And let me go to live chat. I did 2 blocks. Hang on. Where are they? They must be at the store. So anyways, I can't show you what we've, oops, sorry, hit my cord. Can't show you what we've gotten started so far, but let's go ahead and get started. Is it 4 o'clock? We've actually got 2 minutes. So we're going to be working on Automakers, and last week we prepped and I did 2 blocks. And so this week, and I'll try to see if I can get more done, but I just don't know. I'm actually going to be in Dallas this weekend for the brother launch. And so I'm not going to, when I don't have a weekend, it makes me start to panic. But what we did last week is we did blocks 1 and 7, the 2 outside ones, because they're the same size and they're a little bit smaller. So we put them in the 9.5 by 9.5 inch hoop. This week, I'm just going to work right in a row and I'm going to do 2, 3, 4. If we have time, I'll do more. But next week, my plan is, because why do we have to rush? Do we have to rush? I don't know why. I was like, I got to get it done this week. We don't need to rush. So next week, I'm going to do 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to do 5, 6, and the borders. So we'll go ahead and do that next week. The week after that, we're going to start One Amazing Autumn. So, and that's going to be the square pillow, which where if I had the instructions, I would show you, but I think I have it at the store. Anyhow, oh, I'm kind of unprepared. I've been working all day on Soul Blue, and I'm ready to launch. I was getting a little discouraged because I was having trouble. We're doing it a little different than I've done the other Quote with Your Fills classes, and I was having issues drawing and using the stylus and using the mouse, and then I figured something new out, and then I was able to rock and roll and get that done. I'll give you a little peek. So I just finished that up. I was working on the supply list. I know you guys thought I was never going to finish. I started to get scared I wasn't going to finish because I was having some issues with it. Okay. Hoop size. Where is everyone? How is everyone doing? We've got Illinois here. We've got Miss Renata in California, Miss Sherry, Miss Stephanie, a local yokel, and Michelle Kelly. Is that Michelle Kelly or Michelle Keller? Oh, we'll have to meet up. I'll just bring your package, Michelle. I'm there one night, so I'll just bring your package with me. Should I do that? I literally could do that. Okay, here we go. I am going to be using, so we're going to be doing these blocks right here, and I'm going to be using the 7 by 12 hoop. So let's put this away. I just grabbed it out of habit, and I'm going to be using muslin. Everyone always asks, and I'm sure somebody's going to ask twice, why do I use muslin? And I use it because it's softer. It's softer. It presses out better. It's just superior. I don't know if it's superior, but I like no show mesh. I love it. if I have to use it. If I have to use it, I love it. But I feel like it's just really plasticky. It can melt. I think some of the ones, like, I feel like the Baby Lock one doesn't really melt. But I think people have told me that the Kimberbell one melts. And sometimes you really need to press the heck out of something. So you need some high heat, and your muslin's not going to melt. Now, just so you know, I don't know why. I get this muslin from E.E. Shank, and they keep, I don't know if they discontinue it or it disappears off of the price list for a while. And right now, all they have is the white. So if you need a bolt, it's going to be the white one, which I think is fine too. If that's what they had, I would just order the white and I wouldn't even worry about it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clip this. I was using my 11.5 by, is it 18? My 11.5 by 18 snap hoop, which I used one time. And I was like, oh, it's so big. I am loving it. So that's what I'm going to be using for Soul Blue. And I put up some special prices. So if you think you might want the 11.5 by 18 hoop, should I move this so you have a better angle and my shoulder's not getting in the way? I'm hooping up. And I'm far from the computer, so I can't see your comments right now. So if you're asking questions, when I go to sit down, ask it again. All right. The other thing I love about this and this hoop is you don't have to, it doesn't have to be big. Like, it doesn't have to be bigger than the hoop. When I use this, I just have it go right to the edge, and it's always perfect. So we are going to be having a brother sale. I imagine we're going to do it. I think we're going to do it at the end of July or in August, because Patrick and I are getting old and tired. It seems like every big push almost kills us. Oh, man. I wish I was 40. I wish I was 40 and not... I'm 56. There we go. How's that? Hooped. Looks beautiful. The excess is hanging down here. I'm going to reclip this. Things seemed easier at 40. Okay, let's take it over to the machine. And here's my high-tech moving camera. I was watching one of my other videos. I was going back to using my filming arm. I love my filming arm. The reason I love my filming arm is because it's really easy for me to switch positions. The bad thing about my filming arm is it hangs, and so it's really easy to hit, and it's really easy to for it to like bobble. Oh, you know what? I don't think I did. I don't think I sent over my oh, this is what I was working on. Hang on, let me get rid of that. That was a Soul Blue. It's looking good. All right. Let me see if I sent over my I was ready like 10 minutes early, and I was like, am I prepared? Do I have everything? I got all my thread ready and put together. And then right now I'm thinking, did I send my embroidery designs over? And I don't think I did. Let's look. So here's the spreadsheet. You can find this on the website. From Ohio, Miss Joanne Simone is here too. I knight you the Kimberbell Queen. Ah, okay. Hang on. I'm looking at this to see if I have everything. We need plant 18 6x8. Honestly, I don't think I put my designs in. Well, look at that. Anytime that happens, I look at that as an opportunity to give you a little mini lesson. I'm going to grab my computer and we're going to just do design database transfer. And I apologize. I really did sit here and go, wow, I'm all ready. Isn't this nice? I'm going to be early for them. And now look. Now look. Now I'm late. Okay, here we go. All right. Hang on. Hang on. Let me get everything set. Okay, here's my design database transfer. It lives down here on the bottom of my screen. I don't use USB anymore. I'm like, now when I have to use the USB, I'm annoyed. So I'm just going to transfer over these 3 designs. So we're going to do plant plant 18 6x8 horizontal. So you have to have everything organized. My Eevee, that's this machine. Every once in a while, I'll go there and it's gone. I don't know what happens. Don't worry about it. You just go back up to this button up here that shows the sewing machine and the gear, and you just add it again. So I'm going to click the little pluses. How can I get closer? Right here. You're going to hit the plus button. Automakers. I have a folder, Automakers. Here's my sample files. Hopefully these are unzipped. If not, I usually pull them out and I put the unzipped right here. Oh, are these all the designs? Oh yeah. Okay, I pulled them out already. So we need this one. So 6x8, and that one is a 6x8 horizontal. I'm going to put that down here. And then I need Fruit 14, 6x8. That's this. 6x8 Fruit 14. Well, I was semi-ready. I must have pulled these out. And Plant 18, that's that one again. I might as well put these here. Fruit 14, 6x8. Oh, they just repeat. That's it. So I just need to send these over, which makes me go, they're probably right with my machine already. Just hit the button to send it. Finish output data. We are done. No USB needed. And now we're going to come over here and look, and I bet it's already going to be there. All right. It was so beautiful and cool here this morning, and now it's gotten hot. Stephanie, you wish you were 30 again? I do too. That was that 30 was fun. Okay, so I'm looking for, what does it look like? I'm looking for, it looks like a cupcake, and then it's plants. Oh, I had them right here. Just didn't know. So that one is, that's the fruit. I don't want that. We want this one. So it was already there. I just didn't know what I was looking for. I apologize. Okay, you ready? I was prepared. That just surprises me. I'm going to go ahead and hit set. And now we're going to add to that. And we are adding the general store, which is on page 26. That's on my spreadsheet. Spreadsheet has everything all in one place. That's all that is. We're looking for this design right here. That's where I go for design database transfer. I know I'll probably get to 60 and I'll wish I was 50, and 70 I'll wish I was 60. And is that it? This is it right here. Ooh, wouldn't that be a fun time to like change the name of the general store? I was thinking I could do a, there's so many short videos I want to do for you. Okay, here we go. So this one has special alignment. All of these do. So if you look at all of these, align the block embroidery file with the bottom of the quilting design. It's going to look like this right here. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. All of these designs are aligned like that. And you're going to see the spreadsheet. They're all in here for alignment to draw your attention to that. Okay. So I'm going to zoom in to 200%. And if you look at the very bottom here, and the box, the red box is around the general store, so I know that's the design that's selected. I'm going to go to edit. There are my move keys, and I'm just going to scoot it down. Don't use your finger, because if you use your finger, you might move it left or right. You might move the design behind it. Use your move arrows. And I'm going to take this so that red line is all the way on the bottom orange line. Renata, did you say you're loving your machine? Yay! I saw that you, I saw your post where you had, you jumped on it and you were stitching. I'm so sorry. I know this is like watching the grass grow. I could have held it down, but I didn't. And at least I won't overshoot. That's perfect. Can you see that? Right there. Here, I'll move it over so you can see. See, the bottom of the red design is in line with the orange, the bottom orange design of the quilting, okay? And then I'm just going to go back to 100%. So you can see that. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select my hoop size. So go to your settings button, which is right up here. Settings button. I picked up my tripod just right there. And I'm going to select the hoop that I'm using, which is my 7x12, because I'm going to bump it up. That your max speed is 800 stitches per minute. Everything in black is the default. Make sure that you're ending needle above, not needle in your fabric, because this is embroidery, not sewing. You don't need to pivot. And then if you have this feature, Renata, if you haven't turned this on yet, turn this on. Embroidery foot down. That means you don't have to put foot down and start. You just hit start. All right, we're good to go. That's the outline of my 7x12 hoop. That tells me how much room I have. We're done editing. I'm going to touch embroidery, and I'm going to go, if you look, my hoop is on. So when I hit the up arrow and I move my design, it will not go outside of my embroidery field. So I'm going to go layout. That's my move key, and I'm going to scoot it up. And so I've saved all of that muslin that's on the top and the bottom, and then I will rehoop with that design on there. I'm going to touch OK. The last thing I want to do is I want to touch this button right here, which is your needle forward and backward button, and hold colors, because we will be skipping some steps. And we are ready. I think we're ready. Hopefully I didn't forget anything else. All right, camera down. Let me adjust my angle. And let's go. Hang on. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm an Ottoman stitcher because of Poppy. I'm just going to move this so I can get a little bit closer. Here we go. All right. And then I will look at your comments. Hang on. I'm going to grab my general store pouch. Here's all the goodies. And your background fabric. Oh, what does that mean? Does that mean somebody's calling me? I don't know what that is. I hear something ringing in my sewing room. Let me grab my, I might move this. Hang on. That's a sound I haven't heard before. It's probably Patrick. But Patrick Mulligan, the love of my life. He went mountain biking. Maybe that's why he's calling. Okay. I'm just going to put this here right now because I don't want to move everything. This is my dirty spray tent. This is my dime spray tent with a dirty piece of cardboard in it. And I'm going to use my my KK100. Here we go. And I'm going to give my batting a shot of spray on the nubbier side, the side that has all the little bumpies. And I'm going to give this a shot of spray. I should be stitching right now. Let me go ahead and I'm going to spray this. And we should be stitching. I'm stitching out my my background quilting, or my placement line. Sorry! Let me get focused. And let's go down again. Pick a color that you can see. I'm just going to do mine in, what's this? Military gold. He wants to know what you want for supper. Oh my goodness. I actually went upstairs and I was like, look at all the dirty dishes Patrick has to do when he gets home. But you guys, I worked all day. So, there was a time when, that was funny. Was that you, Cindy? Did you say that? That he wants to know what I want for dinner? I was a stay-at-home mom for like 8 years. And I loved it. I had dinner on the table. I did all the laundry. I did all the shopping. I did all the domestic diva duties. And I loved it. And quite honestly, I look forward to doing all that stuff again. But for right now, if Patrick's going to go out and play all day, yeah, he's going to cook me dinner. I know you guys have seen him bring me, he brings me breakfast and my coffee and all that stuff. Okay, I'm going to lay my batting down. You guys, I had no idea that Patrick, you don't know. I mean, I didn't know because Patrick and I dated. We dated for like 3 months, and then we're like, let's get married. And you don't really, really know somebody after 3 months. So part of it is I just got lucky too. Okay, here we go. So you're going to lay down your fabric. I'll back this up a little bit so you can see better. And we're going to skip some steps. So, hang on. Does this rotate, this film? Oh, here we go. Here we go. So I'm going to say okay here. And we're already on the screen where we can go forward and backward steps. This is the, you guys can't see that, right? This is the batting tack down, and then you're going to trim. I'm going to skip that step. This is your placement, your background placement stitch. I've already placed mine, so I don't need that. But we are going to do the background tack down. So I'm going to leave the military golden. We're going to go ahead. My fabric got a little wrinkled from being stuffed in that bag. Where are my spatulas? Hang on, I'm going to go grab those. Because I don't want your fingers in here like mine are. Okay, let me grab my spatulas. Okay, I've half read your comments. Oh no, who's in the hospital? Who's not well? All right, so it calls for your background quilting. It's gonna call for, where is it? Linen, but I've been using pearl. And pearl's one shade darker than the linen, and I feel like it stands out a little more without being too distracting. So that's what I'm going to use. Do you guys all know each other? You guys talk to each other like you all know each other, like personally. Okay, let me go ahead and put in my pearl. It's going to be time for a new pearl. I use my pearl a lot. A lot. Vicky, is that you, Vicky? 0987. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope he's doing okay. Nancy, are you talking to me? And why we bought our store? Alrighty, let it go. This is going to be 5 minutes of stitching. This is a nice screw. Okay, so for all of these, after you do the quilting, you're going to go to machine step 3. This is going to be for if you are not doing the block by block quilting. And so we're going to skip all of these steps as soon as it's done with the quilting, and we are going to start with stitch the background, remove the tape, place the store fabric. After quilting, go to machine step 3. Right here. Remove the tape, stitch the okay, there, I was confused. I thought this was the tack down. This is the store placement line. So let's get our store fabric. Which one is that? Store is going to be 5 by 6. It's the cashmere. So get your fabric that looks like this. You know each other. Oh, Sew and Sail Cruise. It's so funny how you guys know each other. This isn't super close up. Hopefully you're okay with that. Maybe I'll move you over here. There we go. Hey, Miss Pamela. Hollow Shimmer 6008. I just used Hollow Shimmer 6008. Okay, if you don't have Hollow Shimmer 6008, this is it. And it's kind of this like earthy gold. It's like the lightest gold that you could get. And I used it here in my, this is Soul Blue. Isn't it? It's so beautiful. It's really, really, really pretty. Corn! Do you have a full set of Hollow Shimmer? I do not. You know what? I've been waiting for cranberry for like 2 months now. So if you want, I could put a partial set together for you because I am using it in Soul Blue. I'm using this one and I'm using Arctic Black, which is really more like I don't know, it's like a midnight blue to me. So, you know, I ordered a Hollow Shimmer display 4 or 5 months ago, and I still haven't gotten it yet. I'm starting to think I'm not going to get it. So, Nancy asked how we ended up buying the store. Because I was a stay-at-home mom, and then I started sewing and making things for my kids. And I've been a stay-at-home mom, I think, for 8 years. My kids were 8. And then I thought, I want to work again. And I went to our local sewing store, A1 Vacuum and Sewing. And at that time, it was owned by Peter Chang. And I asked Peter if I could work for him. And I taught my first embroidery class with the J foot on. Yeah, that was me. I was that person. And I remember doing the class and something, I just wasn't stitching right. And I went up to Peter and I said, you know, it's just not looking right. And he came over and he goes, oh, you just don't have the right foot on. And he just changed it out for me and walked away and didn't say, never mentioned it again. And I drove home that day and thought to myself, oh my God, I have early onset Alzheimer's. I need to sell all my machines. I am not fit to teach. And then I don't know what. I went back the next day. And it was fine after that. I think I was just super nervous. We've had people come in who have stitched a whole embroidery out with their J-foot. So it can work. All right. Let's go ahead. We're going to skip ahead and let's go to... we're going to skip that step, which is a placement line. That's the tack down line. And we're going to this step, which is going to be the placement stitch for the house. And what color does it want us to put in there? Oh, that doesn't even answer your question. Okay, after that, I worked with Peter for a couple of years. And then I thought, you know what? I don't know why I wanted to work. Not working's better. And so I was going to quit. We need color B. I was just looking. I think it's smoke. I was going to quit, and then Peter said he was selling the store, and I told Patrick, and Patrick was looking for a career change, and he goes, we should buy the store. And that's what happened. So we ended up buying the store. Yep. I wanted to work more, and now, I wanted to work less. I wanted to work not at all. And now I work 24/7. And then Patrick was a recruiter. He was a recruiter, and a C-level recruiter in IT. Okay, go ahead and do your placement line. And LinkedIn had just started. And you could kind of see the writing on the wall. Okay, here's my house piece. I'm going to give it a shot of spray to the back. It's funny how life just takes you on a course. Here's my fabric. I gave it a little shot of spray. I didn't do scan and cut. I'm just doing it the old-fashioned way. So I gave it a little shot of spray on the back. This is stabilized with SF101. I'm going to go ahead and lay it down. Make sure you cover the entire thing. Mine's going to stay down because I sprayed it, and now I'm going to do the tack down. So I am going to be doing the tack down and trim. Get your snips, your scissors, your double curves, whatever you're going to be using. I'm going to be using these, which are my new favorite snips. These are Gypsy Quilter. They're just like the Kimberbell ones that I couldn't get. I don't know if they re-released them. Yeah, a chain of events. Isn't it funny? I could have given into my Alzheimer's spirit and never come back. Could have been like, I can't teach. I still have moments where I go, I can't teach. Like just a little while ago when I had already loaded the designs but was convinced I hadn't. That's when I go, I can't teach. I'm not qualified. All right, so we're going to go ahead and trim it. Well, let me make sure. So stitch the tack down, trim the fabric close to the stitch line, and then we're going to stitch the door placement line. Here we go. I want to go on a sewing cruise. Actually, I don't know. I'm super terrified of the water. And I have impulsive thoughts, like I fall in and a shark comes in and eats me. I'll just be there thinking, what if the whole ship, what if we get hit by a giant wave and then we capsize? What if this is the Titanic? So I don't think I can go. But there's dry land quilt retreats, right? I need to go to one of those. I need to go to one of those and finish all my Kimberbell projects. I love snips because all you have to do is pinch. So I use them with both hands. There we go. Really? You know why I want to go on a cruise? Okay, go ahead and do your placement stitch. And don't think when you see this and you see sky blue, don't think that they really want you to put sky blue in. Sky blue, or at least that's the color that comes up on mine, that means placement stitch, and then the gold means tack down. So we're going to go ahead and do the door. Here is my fabric. I'm going to give this a shot of spray in my spray tent. I want to go on a cruise because I want to eat. Are they buffets? Is it always a buffet? That's why I want to go on a cruise, because I want unlimited. I want like a bite of everything. I'm the type of person that goes to a restaurant and I want to order everything because I want to try it all. So that's why I want to go on a cruise, because I want to eat buffets every meal. Patrick just walked in the door. He's shaking his head. All right. So I just stitched the door placement line, place the fabric, do the tack down and trim. And it still wants you to be doing this in smoke. Or do you have to order a meal? I have never been to the Kimberbell warehouse or office. I am only allowed to go to the house and then to the store. I don't go anywhere else. I'm just kidding. But I do just go to the house and the store. It's very sad. Sometimes I'll just go up to like Truckee, which is not far from here, or I'll just leave like Reno proper, and I'll be like, when did they build all these buildings? I've not left town for a year. That thumb still hurts me. Here we go. Door is on. I should go because Violet asked me, stitch the window, display window placement line. Okay, slide it on. You're still using smoke. So I want to say it was 2 years ago. Was it last October? maybe it was last October, maybe it was the October before. I went up to see my kids for their October break, and then I cooked for them all weekend and filled up their freezer. Went and bought them a freezer, and but Violet wants me to come up and do that again. All right, here's your window fabric, and guess what? They're both the same size, so this must be the one. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a shot of spray. Let me make sure. Windows, yeah, they're both 3x2. So I'm going to give one of them a shot of spray for right now. Oh, so because this is either royal icing or coconut cream, but the SF101 is close in color. So look at it carefully. The SF101 is more woven looking. So that's the SF101 side, and this is the fabric side. So just look at it carefully before you lay it down. Anyways, so I want to go up, and if I go up, I should go visit Kimberbell. Because it's not far from Salt Lake, right? All right, are we still doing smoke? Yes, we are. Huh? Patrick! He best be making my dinner, Stephanie, if he knows what's good for him. I'm just kidding. Last night we made kimchi jjigae. We went full on Korean, hardcore. And then I made 2 different side dishes. I made like a Korean asparagus and a cucumber. It's called like banchan side dishes. So I did that. It was so good. All right, there's the window. And then, so we just did the window, tack down the trim, and now it wants to stitch the display window detail and decorative outline. This makes me go, is there any vinyl? Should we put vinyl down? You know I love that vinyl. Let me look at it. I don't think there's any vinyl in this. Yeah, I'm going to put some vinyl down right now. And I'm going to measure this so it's the perfect size. It's kind of like I can't stop using hollow shimmer. I can't stop using vinyl either. So this is 1 3/4 by like 1 1/8. So give me 1 second. I'm going to come over here. One 3/4. I'm getting the cord stuck. All right. Why not? We might as well do it. So here's my vinyl. Here's my ruler. 1 3/4 by 1 1/8. And this is the vinyl that I love. I get it from Amazon, and we have an affiliate link. So if you go to our website and look for affiliate link, there'll be a link there to this. And I think this is just holographic, something like that. Okay. And it's easier just to cut it to size. So, can't see with this underneath it. 1 3/4 by 1 1/8. Rotary cutter. I have a little icky piece hanging here off the edge. Did I get it all? Okay, so I just have a little itty bitty piece like this. It just looks so good on everything. All right. You're going to be leaving in the smoke for the window detail. And I think this is the perfect size. Yes, it is. And I'm going to use my little spatula pokey thingy to hold it down. Where is it? And I lost it, so that's why I'm happy that I have several. Okay. And once it starts stitching it, you can just move aside. Looks cute. All right. Now it wants to do attach the door window placement line, or stitch the door window placement line, and that wants to be an A, which is linen. So get your linen thread next. There's my pearl. Here's my linen. Okay, I wasn't looking at your comments, so hopefully I didn't ignore anything. Do you have any of the seasons thread? Seasons thread. What's the seasons thread? Is it Quilting Through the Seasons? More information, please. Becky, cruise vacation, not a teaching one. I'd like to go on a vacation. Someday. Okay, here we go. This is the placement line for your stitch the door window placement line. Place the door window fabric. Door window fabric is also 2x3, so it's going to be this other piece. Wait, is that right? That looks like door window. There's a door and there's a door window. That's 2x3. Okay, this is it. Seems so big, right? Is that what you guys have? This is your door window before I put it down, because there's only two. Display window, door window, 2x3. Yeah, this is it. Seems so big. Okay. Let me give it a shot of spray. Make sure you spray the SF-101 side. Yes. Yeah, that will be a vacation. But I want to make, it's kind of like having a party at your house where you enjoy it, but you want to make sure all the guests have the best time of their life. So that means I always get really, when we have parties, I'm always like, is everyone having fun? So then I start to drink heavily so that I'm not stressed, because I'm just a stressor. That's just the nature of the beast. Okay, stitch the door window tack down lines, and then we're going to trim the fabric close to the stitch lines, which means when we go to Korea, to make sure you're having a good time, I will be drinking heavily. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. I don't drink heavily. Does this piece seem just way too big? It's making me think I'm putting down the wrong piece. Okay, it's right. Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you for making me not question myself anymore. Okay, get your snips and you're gonna trim. But I want to make sure those people coming with us that you have the trip of a lifetime. Oh, Susie, we're gonna have so much fun. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and trim this, and then I'm gonna cut another piece of that vinyl because I can't stop myself now. Okay, so now we're gonna trim it all close to the stitch line. We'll have the time of our lives. That's going to be our song. I keep forgetting that it's like around the corner. Patrick and I designed a Chat GPT actually did it, a sweatshirt. And so I have to get those printed for everybody. Okay, let me go ahead. You want to get in here too. This itty bitty spot. Just take your time. Use the tips of your, I wonder if it stitches something heavy. If it does, you really wouldn't need to trim this. This is one of those times where you could almost use like a scalpel. There we go. All right. Now it wants to stitch the large door window decorative outline. And it looks like it just goes around the very top of it. Okay, I'm going to cut some vinyl. Hang on, let me measure. I think it's just on, if you look at your screen, see this? It's just on the door, and it does look like it goes all the way around. So let me measure that. It is, I'd say like 7/8 inch by 7/8 inch. Okay, you hang tight. I'm not going to bring the camera over here. I'm just going to cut it. 7/8 by 7/8. 7/8 by 7/8. Oh, it's so little. 7/8 by 7/8 is tiny. There we go. It's a little not perfect, but that's good. Here we go. Okay. I don't want to get my fingers in there. There are a couple items that should appear in the... Uh-oh. Oh, no. Susan, I'm so glad you said that to me. Okay. Should I... I'm going to leave this one, of course. This one, how about the door? Yeah. Okay, look. So there are... and I couldn't have put it on later. So these... That makes me go, should I remove it? I'll just leave it and see how it stitches. And I'm going to not put that on too. Okay. Don't put it on. I should have looked to see what was under there. And Susan, thank you so much for letting me know. I'm just going to go ahead and hit the start button, and we're going to do the decorative stitching. And then I'm going to hope that that's going to be okay. I could cut it out if I wanted to. Unstitching, I don't know if that's an option. Nancy, we are going with a group of 18 gals to Korea, and they're doing in November. They have one of the largest quilt shows in Asia, so we're going to be going to that, and then we're going to be eating and self-caring our way and shopping our faces off all the way through Seoul and Busan. All right, next step. What are we doing now? So now it wants you to attach the window awning placement line. Got it. And then you're going to get your orange piece of fabric, your burnt orange piece of fabric. This one right here, give it a shot of spray. We're going to go get scalp treatments. Maybe we'll do a little plastic surgery. Go get our colors done. Kai and I were talking because Kai and Violet both went to Korea and did, hang on, where am I? Do you like that? I had the book upside down. Place the window awning fabric right side up, stitch the window awning tack down, and then we're going to trim close. So both of my kids go to the U, and they have a legitimate University of Utah campus in Incheon. And so they both did the exchange program. The food in Korea is so incredible, and the dollar is so strong right now that it is so cheap. So Kai kept showing me all these amazing meals that he had. He was like, this was $6. And it would be like, you know, the rice, the main meal, a soup, a side dish, and all this stuff. And then he was like, look at my airport food. Even the airport food. It's hard. You know, if you go to Korea and you're there for a little while and you're eating all that incredible food, you get depressed when you come back here because you're like, my meal was $10 and that meal here would be like 30 or $40. So you get depressed because you're like, I was eating so well and now I'm not. Okay. Now we're going to stitch the sign placement line. Just go ahead and hit start. We have our linen thread in still. Okay, and that we are going to lay our, what is that? That looks like your sign fabric. Is that sign fabric? Fabric 6 is your sign fabric. So it's just this, just regular fabric. I was looking at it thinking, that looks like something new and spectacular, but it's not. It's just fabric. Gonna give it a shot of spray. We're just gonna put this down. And as far as thread colors, we're still using the linen. Linen! Go ahead and do the tack down, and then we're gonna trim it close to the stitch line. You could definitely get 2 out of this, don't you think? If you place your stuff right, a lot of the times you could do 2. Since I'm doing 1, I'm just going to put it right in the center. Okay, snips. Okay, those ladies who are going, don't forget, you get the biggest suitcase, and then the one that fits inside of it, and then the one that fits inside of it. And the little bitty suitcase, that's what you pack with your clothing and your toiletries. Everything else you bring empty, because we're going to fill it up when we get there. And if this trip goes well, then we're going to do Japan next year. Japan! And we're going to do, I think, Kyoto is the plan. I've heard amazing things about Kyoto. I haven't been. When Sharon was here, Sharon came and visited from Sacramento area, and she did a Kyoto trip, and she showed me all the stuff. She did a whole bunch of just classes, different classes, arts and craft classes. Looked amazing. All right. Now we're going to, so we trimmed the fabric close. We're going to stitch the store awning placement line. Uh-oh. That wasn't the awning, was it? Hopefully that wasn't the awning. Awning! Oh, that's your purple micro velvet. So from your embellishment kit, get your micro velvet. The purple micro velvet. Purple. Purple, purple, purple. Where's my, hang on a second. I had, oh, there it is. Nope, there it is not. My embellishment kit was in one of these bags in the back. Now I do not see it. Hang on a second. I just saw it. Where did it go? Hang on just a second. This is where Jeannie loses her stuff. Da, 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 da. did I drop? Oh, there it is. I dropped it on the floor. Hang on. Okay, it just fell out of my bag onto the floor. When in doubt, always look on the floor. Okay, here's my embellishment kit. Let me get the purple micro velvet. Purple micro velvet. It's this kind of like wine color. Here it is. I'm not going to, I can see it. I'm just going to give a little shot of spray. You'll have so much of your, the ladies are asking what you're making me for dinner. And it better be good is all I have to say. Oh, look, he does have a plan. Oh, actually, I took everything out. This does extend past the building. So keep that in mind. Yeah, they wanted to know. They wanted to know. Oh, wait. Touch it. You want to make sure that the nap is going in the right direction. Like this. See that? Wrong direction. So this is fine, but I feel like it really should be like this. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to give it a shot of spray right there. And I'll help you make dinner. I'll make the best part. Where are you going? You taking them somewhere?
I am.
You going to the store? You're going to go drop the packages off? Hurry. Okay, there we go. We have packages that need to get sent out. All right, let me go ahead and slide this back on. Let me get my book. And we're still going to leave the white in, the linen. Place the store awning, the micro velvet right side up. Stitch the store awning tack down. Here we go. Oops, not threaded. Let me go ahead and put my foot up. Let's rethread really quickly. This is a tack down. Tack downs are important, so I am going to go back those stitches. All you need to do is, this goes to the next color. This goes to the beginning of the color that you're on. So I'm going to hit that. That'll go to the beginning of the tack down, and then we're going to go ahead and stitch. Then you're going to get your snips. You're going to trim close to the stitch line. Snips. Across the room. I don't know how they got there. And let's go ahead and trim. How many of you are working on this? I know a bunch of you are probably already done. How many of you are done? You're like, I can't wait 2 weeks to get this done. I know. There's so much to work on, though. All right, sorry if my arm is in the way. See, that's the nice thing about my filming arm is it's in the air and I can just kind of pull it down. But the bad thing about it is just that I do knock it. I think it's better, though. I might just put this on my filming arm. Sorry, elbow in the way. Okay, here we go. Filming arm. I'll try not to bobble it. Setting it up. There's too many adjustments with that. There we go. I'm going to get this out of the way. Here we go. Da, 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 da. Okay. Alrighty. There's too many little scallops on this, so I'm going to go ahead and just pull it out. Do the best I can. I'm focused right now, snipping away. I like these snips because they're longer, and with that length comes a little bit of strength too. So my favorite used to be the titanium ones, and they're super cute too because they have that like oil slick finish to them. And then I was using the Snippies ones. Love those. But I feel like these are a little longer and a little stronger. So, and you can't convince me these aren't exactly the same as the Kimberbell ones. These are just purple. Gypsy Quilter. So, super cute. If you have too much fuzzy stuff on there and you want to get it off, I keep one of these in my sewing room. I don't even have the handle for it. It's just a lint brush. Or I'll sometimes use my, just transport tape. I'll just get a piece of that. There we go. Clean it up a little bit. Here we go. Let's slide it back on. So we just did this, trimmed it close, and now stitch the store satin outline. Let's go. It wants you to do it in linen. Next color that we're going to do, now it's just going to be a whole bunch of stitching. So this is a 47-minute stitch out. N. What is N? N is going to be, I think it's going to be space. Yeah, so the next color is going to be space. Space. Oh, what's wrong with the borders? Should we do something differently? Do you not like the colors, or you just don't like the process? I still have to do, I have to do mistletoe I haven't done mistletoe for August yet. So I got to get that done. Hi, Miss Mel. Thanks for joining us. Alrighty. Get your space. I was using space to do Soul Blue. Space. Here it is. Space is a great color. It's kind of like a denim-y blue. Not quite navy. Really, really pretty. Okay, this is doing the outline on the door, on the sides of the building. In the beginning, I was doing mistletoe and I was doing 2 months at a time. I was so ahead of the game. And now I'm like, oh my God, mistletoe's tomorrow. It's just been so busy. But I'll get it done. I'll probably get it done hopefully this week. Where are you from, Mel? Dee, where are you from? You're starting, so does that mean that means you have it early? Are you at another store? What time is Avenir class tomorrow? Avenir class is actually on Wednesday. So, are you talking about Avenir sewing? That's going to be on Wednesday. So we are going to, what are we doing right now? We're doing the sides. Then we're going to do the satin stitching on the door. Then we're going to do the roof. That looks like burnt orange to me. And then the signed satin outline. And that looks like timber, but I have to confirm. And then we're going to do the cutie patootie general store stitching. What time? Honestly, I'm not sure, Renata. Most likely it's at 10:30. What am I going to do about this? Do you think I'm going to be able to stitch over that? Should have looked. Should have looked. From sunny Michigan, we had overcast skies all day today, and I loved it. It's so much cooler. It makes me think I should move to the coast because I really, really enjoy overcast weather. I don't need the sun. So we went to, I think it was a Baby Lock reward trip. Was it Baby Lock? And we were in, is it Cozumel? I'm so bad with places. And is that part of, no, not Cozumel. It's part of Cancun, but I forget what it is. And we had the nicest hotel room. It had like you could swim up to the hotel room. It was like hotel room, like the rooms were built around the pool. So you could just like swim, open your door and just jump into the pool. And we spent all day in the sun. And then I came inside and I looked in the mirror and I went, oh my God, the sun has given me a mustache. And it looked like I'd taken my finger and put it in soot and just, in ashes and just like smeared it across my top lip. So I instantly went and got on the computer and I said, the sun gave me a mustache, and it popped up. I'm not the only one. So it's a pigmentation thing, and it gave me a mustache and it gave me splotches on my hand. And ever since then, I don't like to get a lot of sun on my face. Okay, next color, put in space. I don't know. Did that happen? Is that a me too? Like, does that happen to anyone else, or is it a me only? I used to love the sun. I want to sit in the sun. I want to get a tan, but not anymore because the sun gives me a mustache. Oh, the joys of age. All right, let's do the outline. I just put in my space, and it's doing the satin outline of the door. Dee Dee, where are you? Where are you that you were supposed to get rain, but you didn't? I think we're having monsoons here on the West Coast. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I don't need the sun. Oh, don't be intimidated, Mel. Just, I did a prep video, and this one's kind of an easy one. It was really, really easy to prep. So, and then you can just stitch with us. And then if you want to watch and stitch later, I will be your personal guide through the project. Yeah, don't be intimidated. Super easy. Super, super easy. You're just going to hit start. Go. Oh, Dee Dee, you're in Las Vegas? Yeah, it looks like rain. I'm loving it. Especially yesterday, it was so windy during the day. Anytime we have high winds, I'm so scared that there's going to be a fire. So I'd much rather have it rain. Looking good. Okay, the next color you're going to get is going to be your burnt orange. Burnt orange. Burnt orange. If you're new to embroidery, Kimberbell's a good place to start. Now, they have really, really great instructions. Hello from Australia. I'm not very good with Celsius. Does that mean it's like super hot? Oh, I know. I hate fire season. I hate it. I remember growing up on the East Coast and see, you know, on the news, there'd be fires on the West Coast. And it seems so foreign. And now I live here in Reno and we just, you know, we live in it. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to take out our blue, our space. Now we're going to go ahead and put in, your burnt orange, and you're going to stitch the roof detail in satin outline. Yeah, and I think fires have gotten so much worse, and it's just so scary, and you used to like not think it could happen to you if you lived in like a neighborhood or something, and now you know that's just not true anymore. So I always get scared when we have high winds. $40. Wait, it's cold. I wish it was 40 degrees here. I love wearing socks and sweatshirts. That's a good idea. What Renata said, like marking off where you're at. Okay, so we are doing this step right now. And then this is going to be next. We're going to stitch the window awning detail in satin outline. That's going to be in burnt orange too. And then we'll get to our brown. Just keep stitching. Yeah, so the muslin works. The reason it works is because you're going to have your fabric. You have batting underneath it. This has been stabilized with SF101. So I would never I wouldn't do like a super dense embroidery. Let's say I was doing like a Tula Pink embroidery on a sweatshirt. I would never just use muslin. So I would just definitely use some kind of stabilizer. But in this case, it works. And the muslin makes it so easy to press out, and it presses out. That's the other thing. And it feels softer. So it's going to feel softer than if you used some kind of no-show mesh cutaway that feels a little bit plasticky. So I'm all in with muslin. Yeah, I remember just hearing about fires, but yeah, fires are bad now. Fires are scary. And we get fires, we get them, I think last night we actually shut our windows because there was a fire up we have an area of town called Red Rock too, which is a little bit like North Valleys, and there was a fire up there, but I don't think, I think they put it out, but we closed the windows. Okay, just go ahead and hit start. Here we go. Color D is next. That's going to be timber. So grab your timber. These are super nice trays. We used to sell them because I could get them from OESD and Dime, but they don't sell them anymore. So anyways, I think you can buy them still from, is it Cutterbee or something like that? You guys know. Who is it? Who is it that makes it? I think you can get them on Etsy. But they're really nice to keep all your threads organized. So before we started today, I just went ahead and grabbed my tray. It comes in a 2-set. Laser Bee comes in a 2-set. Whatever you do, don't buy what you see on Amazon. So I bought a knockoff on Amazon. It was 10 bucks. And I should have known there, because this set is like 35 bucks. But I should have known when it was $10 that I was going to get what I paid for. And it was like super thin. It was like probably maybe from here to here. And it was barely, I don't know, what do you call this? When they, I don't know the word for it. When they cut it out, it was like, it was like so thin, like 1/8 of an inch, where it wouldn't even hold. It would just slide right off. So, where they router, is that what they do? Where they router it? So make sure you buy the real thing. It's worth it. It's worth it. All right. Go ahead and take out your burnt orange. This is how I remove my thread. I like to show you guys this every once in a while. I used to grab it and just pull it back. And then I was told you're not supposed to do that after like 8 years of doing it. So I unthread it. And once you get to right here, this step, it just comes right out. So you can just pull it right out. Got to make sure your foot is open. That means your foot is down. That means your foot is up. This tension disc right here is open. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my timber indentation. Yeah, the indentation on the one that I bought at Amazon was awful. It was like barely there. You're like, this is like nothing. So I returned them. I went to Whole Foods. I brought my package there and I returned it. Okay, here we go. So now you're going to do the outline for this. And then we're going to switch back to linen, and it's going to stitch the sign detail and the lettering. Dee Dee, where do you live now? Here we go. Get your linen. Okay, where's my linen thread? Oh, that's right. You said Las Vegas. Someday Patrick and I would like to be in Las Vegas. "35 years. I graduated. So what year did you graduate? I'm like 88, 98. 2008, 2018. Oh my God, I'm getting close to my 40th high school reunion. Oh my God, that's so crazy. I graduated in 88. Can't believe it. Feels like just yesterday. Oh, did you love it? Patrick and I have been, have we been twice now? We've been to see we saw the Grateful Dead twice at the Sphere. That is a fun place. That's an experience. After I went to my first show, I said, I can't go to a regular concert. I can only go to concerts at the Sphere. But that's not true. I can go other places. Then we went and saw the Grateful Dead at Golden Gate, and that was so amazing too. It was so beautiful, and it was outside, and then I was like, I can only go to concerts here. Okay, go ahead, and this is going to do the detail, and it's going to be the running stitch that goes around the satin stitch, which really makes it. And then we're going to stitch out general store. Somebody told me they went and saw The Wizard of Oz and at the Sphere, and they cried because it was so awesome. Is that true? Did you cry? The Eagles. Oh, that makes me go, I need to go see The Wizard of Oz. Do you guys remember when you looked forward to seeing The Wizard of Oz? It would come on once a year and you would watch it. All right, go ahead and stitch out general store, leave in your linen. It was kind of like Sound of Music. Every time it came on, you would watch it. Willie Nelson and Friends at the Ironstone. Okay, what's the Ironstone? I don't know what that is. Generous store. Oh my God, this is cute. And the awning feels absolutely amazing. The Ten Commandments, I remember watching that too when they like parted the Red Sea. Oh yeah. Oh my God. That brings back such memories. Oh, I totally agree. Ticket prices are ridiculous. So Violet lives in, my kids live in Salt Lake, and Violet goes to a lot of concerts, and she's always like, this concert was, $35. This concert was $60. And they're like decent people too. So I don't know if it's a Salt Lake thing, but I feel like they're so lucky because she's been able to see a lot of great people and not have to pay these ridiculous prices. So I don't know if it's something that Salt Lake subsidizes. That's funny. It took you 10 years. Oh yeah, I loved watching Charlie Brown too. And I always watched. Okay, what color are you putting in now? So, it wants you to put in Wild Plum, but I didn't. I do have Wild Plum now because I brought it home. But since I started with Iris, I'm going to finish with Iris. But it does call for Wild Plum. The other thing I watched every year that I could not wait to watch was I watched all of those claymation shows, like A Year Without a Santa and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And there were all of those. There was like Peter Cottontail. I loved those. And we'd watch The Grinch for sure. I'm like that now with Elf. I've got it anytime it's Christmas time and Elf comes on, I have to watch it. gotta say, Iris looks pretty darn good, too. Oh, I love Elf. Okay, so in Korea, you can you know that scene when Will Ferrell's in the elevator and he hits like every single button? If you're in Korea, you can undo them. Like if you accidentally touch the wrong elevator floor, you can hit it again and it will deselect. It's kind of like your Avenir where you could select and deselect. You can undo and redo. Hi. Huh? It's hot. Is it hot outside? It feels really hot.
It's like really humid. That's what it
is. Bad Santa. That's a good one too. How about a Christmas, what's the one where it's about the kid shooting his eye out with the BB gun? Is that a Christmas Story? We always watch that too. Okay, we are on this step right here. We're stitching the store awning satin outline and detail. Then we're gonna stitch the short pumpkin vine detail, and that's either clover or aloe. I think that's aloe. Let me check my handy dandy color guide, and that is aloe. So we're gonna do aloe. E looks like sandcastle. So this is gonna be aloe, sandcastle, and then back to burnt orange, all of those H's. So get your colors. Did I tighten this with a screw? Yeah, he's tight. A Christmas Story. Oh my God. There's so many good Christmas movies. I love the holidays. I'm ready. The stores are ready too. I went to look for yarn the other day, and so I was in Hobby Lobby, and they were totally decked in fall. I was like, fall? I haven't even gotten through summer yet, but I'm ready. What? They have Christmas up? I was in I was so focused on getting my yarn. I like walked in, I think I saw some fall stuff, and then I went straight to the yarn. So I did not notice Christmas yet, but ours could have Christmas up too. Okay, just saying, I'm almost thinking Iris looks even better. There's my wild plum. I can see it on the other side of the table. I keep forgetting, if you like the content, which you might not because I had you put vinyl down, we still have to stitch this, then make sure that you subscribe and that you give us a thumbs up. Because I think it does something to help the store. I don't know what. But I watch everyone else's videos and they always say like and subscribe, and I always forget to say it. How many of you miss Joann's? I miss Joann's. I mean, I don't go there often, or I didn't go there often, but I miss it. I miss it. We're 34 minutes into our 47-minute stitch out. Don't forget, you have so much information here on your screen. This is going to tell you where you are with your stitches. It's a 28,000 stitches stitch out. We're almost 20,000 stitches in. We've got 57 color changes. That's a lot. And then 47 minutes. This number, your number here might be different depending on how fast your machine is stitching. I'm at an Avenir and it stitches 1,050 stitches per minute. However, it does some things faster than other machines. So even though your Dream Machine and Destiny might be 1,050 stitches per minute, this does things like satin stitches at full speed. Yeah, I wanted to go there for yarn. I don't use anything fancy. We have some really nice yarn stores here in town, but I just needed something just for two of our projects, and I was thinking, oh, I wish I could go there for yarn. Oh, that's so funny. I guess it opens up some opportunity, right, for other people to open up some stores. Oh, that looks so good. Is that gorgeous? That's pretty darn beautiful. And that just feels so like luxurious, that micro velvet. Okay, go ahead and we are going to put in your aloe thread. Oh, the second, I have 5 loves of my life. Patrick is my #1 love of my life. And then Kai just came home. And Kai he and Violet are equally 2 and 3. 3 and 2, 2 and 3. He just came home. He's a working man now. He has an internship at a local civil engineering firm. My baby, I can't believe it. They're going to be seniors next year. How did that happen? Okay, here we go. This is going to be your pumpkin vine detail, and then you're going to get your sandcastle thread. Why does it go so fast? I wish I could put the brakes on life. And then maybe I could get caught up with all of my Kimberbell projects. I either need that or more of me. More hours in the day. I think if I had a wish, I'd maybe wish for one of those things. Okay, sand castle. Oh, yeah. Frosty was so good. I loved Frosty. I wonder what the voice of Frosty, I wonder what he really looked like. If I heard his voice right now, I would think of Frosty the Snowman. His voice was like so recognizable. When he melts, is that like the saddest scene ever? Seniors! I know they're seniors next year. Can't believe it. All right, where are we? Go ahead and put in your burnt orange. Burnt orange, burnt orange. Rebecca, every time every once in a while, I'll see a Kimberbell project that I'm like, oh my God, I have to do that. I felt that way with Stitching Hour. I was like, I've got to do it. The bat wrap. I mean, it had me at bat wrap. Seriously. The candy bar bat wrap. It's so silly. I saw the pictures, so I hadn't seen the pictures for the Mrs. Claus event. And I saw them and I was like, oh my God, we've got to do that event. I saw it and I didn't realize that it was Mrs. Claus. I was like, what event is that? We've got to do that. And then I realized it was Mrs. Claus and I got excited. Yeah, this is cute. Don't worry about this. You guys see all this puckering here? Don't worry about this because you're on muslin and because you have a wool mat and spray and some muscles because you're muscular. We're going to get all of this out. Like this used to stress me out. It doesn't stress me out anymore because once we're done with this, we'll take it and we'll put it face down into our wool mat. Oh, sorry. I have an alarm going off. Hang on a second. Okay. You're going to hear it in the background. Go ahead and just start again. It's going to stitch out some more burnt orange. It's not the stabilization, it's just the density of the stitching. And all that satin stitching on the bottom right down here, that's going to make it pucker. So don't worry about it. Okay, go ahead and hit start again. And now it's going to do, is that right? Yes, it's going to do, and I have to stitch through all my vinyl. I know. I didn't realize that. Susan warned me, and she saved me from putting vinyl on the door. It'll be fine. It'll look amazing. Okay, you're going to go ahead and put in your clover. Does that corn background look so good? Oh, yes, it does. Oh, yes, it does. All right. What was your best Joann's buy? Do you guys remember? I'm trying to think of. I used to go there after the holidays. So, okay, if you have little kids around, put earmuffs on them. But we used to do something, we called it the Great Pumpkin. And so after Halloween, we did a couple of things. We used to do this, we used to do a thing where during Halloween time, we would go to our friends' houses and we would ding dong their house and leave them like a little like a Halloween little gift package with like, I don't know, silly stuff in it, like glitter tattoos and some candy and like Halloween socks and Halloween fun stuff. So at the end of, because we would go and do it to a whole bunch of our kids' friends. So after the holiday, I would go there and stock up all this like cute little Halloween stuff. So I'd go and clear out like socks and just fun stuff. Okay, what color is next? You're going to put iron, and that's going to be, I think that's buttermilk. Let me just make sure. Let me make sure it's buttermilk. Yes, so get your buttermilk thread. Hang on just a second. And hang on just a second. I'm just doing one thing. Okay, buttermilk. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, the other thing we would do is we would do the Great Pumpkin. And so we told our kids that they would go trick-or-treating. And then we said if they left their pumpkin out back in the backyard, they could leave their candy out there. And the Great Pumpkin would trade their candy for a gift. And so we would go and buy all this stuff after Halloween. But usually we give them a good present. It was kind of like Santa Claus. Kind of like Santa Claus. Sorry, my dogs are barking. Hang on just a sec. Let me shut that door, or we'll put in our next color. Somebody just showed up. Okay, important. Everything important is going to be highlighted. Change the bobbin thread to a water-soluble thread or a visible thread color because we are going to do the corn silk. So I love the corn silk. We're going to slide this off. I'm going to shut my door so you don't hear my dogs barking. It's a cacophony of sounds here, isn't it? Just a lot going on. Okay, let me dismiss this. All right, I'm going to slide this off gently. Let's go ahead and take out our bobbin. What did you do with... Oh, we put the candy in the laundry room and Patrick and I would eat it. We'd eat all the candy. Is that awful? We took it from them because we didn't want them to eat it. But then Patrick and I would just eat it. You know, there'd always be some left. We start with like the best stuff, like the Kit Kats and like Kit Kats and peanut M&Ms and things like that. All right, I have this thing of thread. We would let them choose like 20 pieces of candy or like 10 pieces of candy. So we didn't take all of it. But and then you know, I'd buy like Violet would get like a Disney princess something, or she might get like a Polly Pocket thing. But and what happened was all of our friends were like, what the heck is this great pumpkin? Because our kids would tell their kids. And then their kids would be like, I got to put my candy out for the great pumpkin. So I can get a present. So, yeah. Anyways, those were such good times. All right, I just put my water-soluble thread, stitch the corn silk fringe. All right. Leave in your buttermilk, and now you're going to stitch out the fringe. So my friends would call me like in the middle of the night and be like, what's this about a great pumpkin? I need to get a present. I always had a stash of presents at my house for them. So I'd be like, don't worry about it. I'll bring something over for you. Was that it? That's it? Okay, now we've got to change back to a neutral color. You're going to leave the buttermilk in. And the kids always slept over here, too. So all their friends would sleep over. Wasn't a big deal. I'd always have presents for everyone. Okay, take out your vanish. Make sure you label this, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to stitch a whole project with vanish thread in there and then throw it in the laundry and have it just fall apart. That would be so sad. All right, here we go. I feel like we called it the Great Pumpkin because do you remember Charlie Brown? I don't remember who the Great Pumpkin was in Charlie Brown, but there was a Great Pumpkin in those episodes too. Yeah, I would want to eat, what candy did you guys eat first? Because I would want to eat Sour Patch Kids and then Kit Kats. Oh, I love Almond Joy too. All right. I put in my regular, I better pay attention because this is when I start to make mistakes. All right, I did that. We changed our thread back, and now we're just going to go ahead and stitch the rest. Anything chocolate. Oh, Reese's for us too. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, yes. Or Reese's Pieces. Tootsie Rolls. Patrick loves Tootsie Rolls. I could just throw Tootsie Rolls in the trash. That is not my candy. But that's high up there for Patrick. I would throw away Three Musketeers too. To me, Three Musketeers were ick. I love Snickers though. I loved it when the kids got older. We lived in like a neighborhood that there was only one way in and out. And everyone would come and trick or treat in our neighborhood. It was like one of those neighborhoods. Okay, after you're done with this, we're going to go ahead and put Sandcastle back in. My door is shut. My dog is standing on the other side saying, let me in. So I'm so sorry if you're hearing a barking dog. Nancy, we would be perfect to trick or treat together because I would give you all of my Tootsie Rolls. Yay, Trish! Hopefully, how are you feeling? Are you like feeling recovered? We've got about 7 minutes of stitching left. Yeah, we don't get any trick-or-treaters. We actually, in our neighborhood now, it's all a bunch of old people. But we do have one house on the corner that has, nobody has kids anymore. We're just older. And, but there's a house on the corner that has little girls, and they came trick-or-treating. We're awful. We didn't even get any candy. We had to give them money. We're like, hang on a second. We'll just give you some money. Oh, man. Because nobody comes. I think we had candy for a couple years and nobody even came. So we stopped getting candy. And then this young couple with these cute little girls moved in. Here we go. Sandcastle. You are putting in your sandcastle. And we're going to leave this in for quite a bit. Looks like we're going to do the cornstalk detail, the wreath hanger detail, the left leaf stem, the left gift bag fill and handle detail, and the squirrel. Speaking about squirrels, we seem to have a mutant squirrel that lives in our backyard. Patrick says he's like 2 feet tall. I have not seen it. I cannot confirm, but I find that unlikely. Heat and bond on felt and on increase the side to cut on the scan and cut. Annette, that sounds scary. I haven't tried it. I'm scared. Don't you know that I'm so scared to do anything wild and crazy? I should try. I'm new to my scan and cut. I still consider myself a newbie. Is that what you do though? How many clicks bigger are you making it? Oh my God, 300. We used to get that too. We used to get that many kids in the neighborhood. I loved it. Loved it. Okay, so we have a recliner too. And at this point, you're just going to keep hitting start because it's just going to be a bunch of sandcastle. I got it because because after I had my surgeries, everyone said get a recliner. So I actually just got one on like Facebook Marketplace. And then I ended up having to use it for 2 surgeries. And then Patrick had he had that lipoma. So he had that surgery. Just hit start again. And so then he used the recliner. And now I go, am I just an old person? And do I just need to keep this recliner for all the time we're going to have surgery? So we call Violet's room is the recovery room. Okay, keep going. Just hit start again. I put vinyl here. So if you're just joining us, do not put the vinyl down because This is now all stitching on top of the vinyl, which is going to be fine. It's going to look great. What I've learned about surgery at my ripe age of 56 is that when they say you need 6 to 8 weeks to recover, you need 6 to 8 weeks to recover. Is that what I should get for my recovery now for all this surgery we're going to have? Well, that's a step in the right direction, Trish. All right. After you do the gift bag fill and handle, then we're going to stitch out the squirrel. And this still looks great, so I think it worked out fine. But would I do it again? All right, ready? Here we go. Here's our squirrel. All right. Oh, that looks so good. Okay, squirrel. We're done with this squirrel. Now we have to do baby blue for, here's the instructions. We're going to do baby blue. Then we're going to do linen, timber. What's that? I think that's going to be iris. I forget though. I'll make sure. So let's get our baby blue. My tray is across the room. Here we go. How do you stop the puckering when embroidering? You don't stop it. You're just going to get the puckering. You're going to get the pulling. When you have thick satin stitches and anything that's heavy stitching, you'll get puckering. So that's when you depend on things like your wool mat, or you could get an OESD press cloth, which is like magical. I could get one of those out. And you're going to use your wool mat, some best press, or even just water. And you're going to put it face down into your wool mat. And you're going to give it some pressure and you're going to iron it. And when you iron it, it's going to press out those wrinkles. Okay, baby blue. I'll do one. We'll press this one out. And then go ahead and get your linen. So don't worry about the puckering. Linen. Let me go ahead and take this out. We're going to put the linen in. So in my store, the product is sitting outside of the window, and that's why the vinyl went down first. And it's stitching out great, so if you did what I did, it still looks awesome. But if I did it again, I would not put the vinyl down. Momo does not like that I'm not letting him in my room right now. And then we're going to put the timber in. It's going to outline your little squirrel. It's going to be so cute. Okay. Do you guys do you know how long a squirrel lives? I was curious the other day and I Googled it. I was shocked. I thought maybe they live like 2 or 3 years. So, what do you think? It said 8 to 12 years. Squirrels live 8 to 12 years. Like, they live as long as a dog. Maybe they live a little less. But I thought that was absolutely crazy. You hooped cutaway and the fabric for the birth stats while hanging, and it's still puckered. Make sure if that birth announcement was super dense, then make sure nothing's floated, that your fabric and your stabilizer are both hooped. And then you can also float something underneath. And then even then, don't worry about it. Just take it to use an OESD perfect press cloth or your wool mat and just put it face down into that mat, spray it, and just press it and really work on the edges. So I'll do it with this. You'll see us get it all out. All right, next thing you're going to put in is F, which is, yes, that's going to be your wild plum, but I am using iris. So we're going to put wild plum in or iris, and you're going to use it for the next 2 steps. They were both hooped. Are you finger tightening your hoop, or are you using a screwdriver? You have squirrels in your backyard. Yeah, it must be we had a dime magnetic hoop. I wouldn't, if you have something really dense, I wouldn't use the dime hoop. Because the dime hoop, I don't feel like it's super strong and it's going to hold all the edges. For me, personally, I use my dime hoop for quilting only. And I don't think I'd be comfortable using it for something that was super dense. So, because I think it's really easy for those stitches, like for the fabric to just kind of pull in a little bit. I don't know. I would, like these, I feel they're more stable because they go up and over, and then these kind of clamp down onto it. So, I would just use a regular hoop, or I might use a hoop like this over the dime hoop for embroidery. All right. Oh, shoot. I took that out. We needed it in there for the next step. So I'm putting it back in. We're going to do the leaves on the wreath. Because it could just subtly pull in on the dime hoop. I did change. I'm pretty sure I changed the bobbin back. Yes, I did it. Did I? Oh my God. Now I'm like all nervous. Okay, hang on a second. Let me check. Let me make sure. Anytime you take the hoop off, you always want to pull this back. I write vanish on mine. Yeah, this is a regular Filtech pre-wound bobbin. We are good to go. Everything is right in the world. That is just my leg. That's my leg. Just sitting cross-legged. Okay, I am going to go back. Let's go back 5 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5. I sit on an ottoman, and anyways, yeah, this will work with the Pathfinder. So this will work with the Pathfinder. Your biggest hoop that you're going to be able to put on that is going to be the 8x12. As long as you have it like upgraded, I think you need to have it upgraded. Next color is J, and J I think is going to be military gold. Let's go ahead and put our military gold in. Are you talking about this magnetic hoop, or are you talking about the snap hoop? And we are doing a sale on snap hoops this week. I did put up the 9.5 by 14, the 10.5 by 16, and the 11.5 by 18, and the 8 by 12. If you want a different size snap hoop, reach out to me, and then I'll let you know what the sale price is. But those might have to be a special order. But those are the ones that we had extra of from the show. So go ahead and put in your military gold. And then you're going to put in clover. Clover, burnt orange. So Rebecca, it depends on which one you want. So the monster snap hoops are going to be the green ones. And the thing with the monster snap hoops it's just the top and the bottom. They just like sit on top of each other. So they're easy to kind of budge, or they can nudge, or the fabric could kind of pull in a little bit. I mean, this is probably like a little bit of pulling in too, but I feel like these are more stable because the fabric goes up and over and then it clamps down. So, I mean, especially if you had it longer, like up and over, then this would clamp down and over. I feel like they're more stable. I could be wrong. Put in your clover. Clover. I personally use the snap hoops for when I quilt. And then I use the OEM, the ones that came with the machine. I prefer to use those and the ones that I'm using right now for embroidery. For this kind of embroidery. I don't count the quilting as like embroidery. That's quilt embroidery. That's quilt embroidery. This I call regular embroidery. Yeah, you do. We had several people that bought this hoop or the other one, and when they put it on their machine, they said that the machine wouldn't take it, and we just told them that they had to update their machine, that they needed the latest version to recognize this hoop. So just make sure you're updated to the most up-to-date version, and then it should accept this hoop. All right. And then we're going to put in our burnt orange, and we are almost done. We're going to stitch the reef base fill. Reef base fill. Here we go. Burnt orange. We're 47 minutes in. We're 52 steps into 57 steps. This is going to be all a bunch of little stitching. Okay. If you plan to attach the optional tall pumpkin button to the block, skip machine steps 49 through 52. I plan on using the button. So I'm going to skip step 49, 50, 51, and 52. Does that mean I'm done? Stitch the tall pumpkin center fill, right? We're skipping all the way through. Yeah. So if you're going to do the button, then you are done because you're just going to put a button right there. And that's it. That's it. If you want to stitch it, if you're doing many of them, then go ahead and stitch. Oh my goodness, look how sweet that detail. We're going to trim all those little jump threads and then it'll make it look so nice and clean. But for me, I am done. I'm going to take this back over here. We're going to rehoop. And I'll just cut this one off the top so I can press it for you. And you can see how gorgeous it's going to be, even though it has puckering right now. Okay. Let's clean off this area. We are going to rehoop. We're going to do one more. It is already 6 o'clock. I might just be stitching one more out. Hopefully I can do one this week. These are just taking a little bit longer. Okay, this is a snap hoop. This is the big one. Can I tell you how awesome it was doing my soul blue using this hoop? It was just incredible. But I don't like using it for my regular, embroidery. I prefer using the other hoops. Rotating that, move it. Let me get this off of here. We'll get started with the next one. Is that Miss Betty? Are you going or who's going? Got to go. We'll see you later, Miss Betty. It's so sweet. So sweet. All right, let's pull off our magnets. Something's sticking to my feet. It was like material that I obviously just threw on the ground. Like I'm some kind of barbarian. Savage. I'm the savage embroiderer. I usually leave this on so I can get nice and close, but I'm going to cut it off so we can go ahead and press it. So don't cut right by that line. Leave at least half an inch or at least a quarter of an inch. It's so gorge. Okay, we'll press that when we're stitching. I'm going to get a check on time. All right, I'm going to go ahead and undo this. This muslin, it comes 90 inches. So I just cut, for these hoops, I think I cut this 10.5 inches, something like that. And I just like treat it like a roll of stabilizer. Clip it. I'm going to go ahead and put my top magnets on first. And then I like to push my hand here to make it taut, not tight. And then sometimes I have to redo it. Sometimes I get a little bubble. That's okay. And it looks just like that. Okay? All right. Maybe I'll make this one a little. Okay, let's take it over to the machine. What are we on now? What's block number 3? Block number 3. Thumbs up, please. I'm begging you. No, I'm just kidding. If you think of it. Okay, let's load our design first. So I'm going to say okay to this to get that off my screen. To go home and clear your screen, the easiest thing to do is just hit your home button. And I stitch on a Brother Avenir. Okay, can I tell you, when I was using the Avenir to do Soul Blue, all I could think is, if you can get an Avenir, you need an Avenir. There's no other machine like it. I was doing my stitching using the camera. I was outlining where I wanted to put my fill. I was changing the direction. I was random shifting. I was doing all this stuff. If that doesn't mean anything to you, don't worry about it. If you have an Avenir, I'm going to teach you. And a Luminaire too. You can do a lot of what I was doing on the Luminaire. And I just kept thinking, this is the most incredible machine. There's nothing else like the Avenir, the Luminaire. The Baby Lock is a Brother machine. So the Radiance and the Solaris. There's nothing like it. You got to get one. Okay, we're doing the next one. Let me get my handy dandy. There's my little pitch. I was just using it and I was just like, oh my God, this is so incredible. We're going to do Sunflower Garden. And so we're going to put Fruit 14. That was the design that I already had loaded, that I didn't know I had loaded, that I panicked and thought I didn't have loaded. I panic a lot. I panic really easily. This is it, I think. And if you're not sure, you can just look at, okay, what page are we? Page 15. Renata, wait till you start doing all this amazing stuff with me. So, yes, you can see the background right here. You see it with the little baskets and everything. So that's your background quilting right there. You needed a long arm first. I get it. I get it. There's priorities. They're not cheap. But if you can find a way. Okay, there's your background quilting. You're going to put the background quilting first. And now we're going to add. And then we're going to go ahead and go to the pocket. And that's where I set mine over wirelessly. So that's the button I choose. If you're doing USB, you're going to just touch that. Sorry, oopsie, my finger touched it. And we are looking for, oh my goodness, we're doing the sunflowers. This one doesn't look like it's going to take that much time. Here we go. Let's set it. We want to line it up, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. I'm going to zoom into 200%. And I'm going to just move this design, the red line on the bottom of the design, I'm going to line up with the bottom orange line from the quilting. So I'm going to go edit, and this time I'll hold it down. Try not to overshoot. Whoop! And then I have to go up a little bit. Here, I'll zoom in to 400%. If you need to move it around and you zoom in, you have to hit the hand button. So I'm going to touch the hand button, and then I'll scoot everything up. And then let's look at the side so you can see. Perfect. Do you see that? It's perfect. All right. Going to go 400% back to 100%. Gotta water the money tree. Water that money tree, Camilla. Okay. We're set and ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and say okay. Once I hit embroidery, it's going to combine the two designs. That's why I don't move it here. Because it's easy to just touch that and combine. You can combine it in the previous screen, but why do it there when you have to touch a bunch of buttons when you can just hit embroidery, and now this is one design. Okay, I'm going to go layout, move. My hoop is on. It is on. If this was up, that would not be recognized as on, but it's slid on with the lever down. Machine recognizes it. Now I can just hit the up arrow. I'm just going to hit this. And it'll go all the way up, and we're going to save all of that muslin. That's all. You don't have to do it. You could stitch right in the middle. I cannot help it. It is in my DNA to be a little frugal and want to conserve. I try to not do it, and I can't do it. I'm like, I'm just going to leave it. And then next thing you know, I'm hitting the button, trying to save my muslin. Okay. Don't forget, we're going to skip and go to step 3. But right now, we're going to do the block to block placement line, tack down line, and then we're going to do the quilting. So last thing I want you to do on this screen is I want you to go, and you know what? If you watch these videos and you don't have an Avenir, you're in training right now for your Avenir. You're going to know how to use it as soon as you get it. Okay, I'm going to touch that button. And what that does is it brings me to the screen where we can go forward and backward stitches and whole colors. All right, we are ready to go. I still have burnt orange in there. I'm going to leave that. We're going to leave it, and let's do our placement line. Let me find my pouchy pouch. This is all that's in there for my sunflower, which we're probably going to be using embellishments, maybe? I don't even know. Just know that when I do these sew-alongs with you, I'm sewing this for the first time. So every once in a while, there might be an oopsie. That's why I like that Susan's here and that she was like, don't do that. That she warned me. Because I would have just kept putting my vinyl down. So if you're here and you've already stitched this and you see me doing something I'm not supposed to be doing, please let me know. Okay, so I'm going to lay this down in that square. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my fabric. Here's my fabric. Here is, oh, check this and make sure you don't have any ick on the back. And look do you see that? That's where I didn't fuse it quite right. That's okay. It'll look perfect. We're going to press it again. Eye spray. I'm going to just lay this down just like that. Gonna give it a little pushy push. we're going to skip some steps. So if you are doing the block by block and you're cutting your batting to size and you're laying down your background fabric, you're going to skip this step. That's the tack down of the batting and the trim. We've already cut it to size, so we don't need that. That's your background placement. We've already placed ours. That's the background tack down. I want it. And I want it in a color that I can see so I can fussy cut to it, which is different than if you're doing home sewn. Home sewn, you wanted a color you can't see. So when you sew it together, if you don't encase this, then it doesn't stand out in your seam. But for this, we want it in a color we can see because we're gonna fussy cut to this. This is kind of our trim line, but not really, because you never want to trim right on that line. All right, let's do our quilting. I'm doing mine in pearl. It recommends linen, and if you're like Cindy, you could use your Hala shimmer. Yeah, I got something weird going on there, but we'll press that out. I don't worry about any of it. Best press, an iron, and a wool mat solves all of those issues. Okay, let's do our quilting. Yeah, if you've thought about getting a quilting machine, and if you're not doing a ton of large stuff, think about getting an Avenir, because I do most of my quilting on here. I gotta be honest, if I had a king size quilt or a queen size quilt, I would just send it out. But for custom quilting, you can do it on this machine. And with that big hoop, I was just doing huge chunks of my panel, and I was like, oh my God, I just got so much done in one hooping. Okay, after we do this, we are going to be skipping steps 1, 2, and 3. And we are going to, or do we start with 3? We start with 3, right? So, stitch the background, tack down, remove the tape, stitch the cloud placement line. So you're going to need your blue felt. So get your blue felt. This is all going to be done in baby blue. We'll see you later, Miss Rebecca. I always love this. When I'm done with an embroidery, I peel these off and I feel like I'm so accomplished. I'm like, ooh, I'm there. I'm getting there. Yes, I love Scan and Cut. I will be doing One Amazing Autumn. I'm going to do that on my Scan and Cut. And was it D? No, it was a net. A net. What size, like if I were to get wild and crazy and use my Scan and Cut to cut the embellishments, or if there's somebody who's doing that, how many clicks larger are you going on your, I'm scared. Let me get my blue felt for the clouds. Don't pre-cut your embellishments, because you'll have so much left over if you just kind of lay it down as you go. Like, look, that's all I've used so far. That looks like a cloud, doesn't it? Okay. We are going to skip the next steps. Because I'm in this screen where you go forward and backward stitches and whole thread colors, I can just hit my down arrow. That's going to go to the next step. That was the tack down, and that's going to be the placement for my cloud. So we are going to do that. It wants you to put in baby blue, so you might as well put it in now. My mother-in-law got us a beautiful watermelon at the farmer's market yesterday. I don't know. A good watermelon is one of my favorites. My favorite fruits. I gotta say, for me, my favorite fruit is a good peach. That like instantly made me start to drool. Like summertime and peaches, you can't beat that for me. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give it a little shot of spray right here on the top. Quilt Wench, are you doing large quilts? Okay, I'm going to lay this down and do one at a time. So I'm going to, because I don't want to waste that. Guys, it's not my fault. It's my DNA. My DNA won't allow it. So I'm going to let it stitch this one. And then I'm going to hit the start stop, which is going to be the stop. And then I'll do, I'll trim it. And then I'll do the next one. This is this trim as desired? Trim the felt as desired. So you want to have a little bit of an edge around it, like 1/8 of an inch. And this is also when you're going to want to use your curved straight. So I'm going to hit my stop button. I'm going to get my curved straight scissors so I can cut these and they can be perfect. Here's my curved straight. And since it's round and fluffy, I'm actually going to slide it off and trim it. And then I'll put it back on. Whoop, foot needs to go up. Here we go. And then I'll put it on for the next one. Leave a little bit of an edge. You want the straight edge right now when you want to control your cuts. The double curved is going to allow you to get really close to the stitch. This is going to let you control the edge. And we sell these in the store. We sell the, I think these are the 4.5 inch ones. And then there is the 6-inch ones. I tend to use these more because they're smaller, so I feel like I can have more control and more detail. We had our arborist come today, our tree guy, and like we have a gorgeous I don't know what kind of pine tree it is in our front yard. And our lawn guy fertilized, and whatever fertilizer he used just started. And we don't know for sure, but there's two. It's not a Jeffrey pine. And our arborist says they're just really sensitive trees as well. All of a sudden it started dying. And the pine needles started falling out, and it's just awful. Every day Patrick would go, I don't know if it's going to make it. And I'm like, I can't even talk about it. It's one of those trees that just makes the yard, you know? It flanks the walkway. It's big, and you can't just grow a tree like that. He's probably, I don't know how old he is, but anyways. So he came to give that tree a haircut and the rest of the trees, and he doesn't look as bad now. We're just praying that he makes it. Okay, here we go. Tacking this one down, and then I'm going to trim. This one had a nice old yellow spot on it. The watermelon that Gigi got us. I think we have some of that issue too, because there are some like boreholes in it. But we had he thought that they didn't look that bad. But yeah, beetles, they're the worst. They're the worst. I was never felt as involved with my trees as I feel here. Like I grew up in Connecticut, and I don't remember ever having a tree guy. Not, I mean, maybe that was just us and we didn't know what to do, but we had so many beautiful trees at our house, and we never had anybody come over to. I never had an arborist. I didn't even know people did things like that. That they had the tree person come. But our trees here get a haircut every once in a while. Do you guys have tree people on the East Coast come to your house? We just raked. Every year we just rake. I remember when gypsy moths were really bad. I remember we put the tape on the tree branch, on the tree trunk. And that's all the TLC I remember giving our trees. Connecticut has a lot of water. Yeah. And that's the other thing. Our arborist said that they were they could have been a little drought stricken, which weakened them and made them more susceptible to that fertilizer that was put on the grass by them. My poor tree though. Okay. Trim the felt as desired. Now you're going to stitch the wind detail. You're using that baby blue that's already in there. Just hit start. If you are taking your hoop on and off, make sure you always fluff the fabric underneath, that it doesn't get folded under and stitched down. That's always the worst. Sherry, you have a tree guy that comes in. Maybe my parents are immigrants and we didn't know we were supposed to do that. I feel like there's things that, like, I don't think anyone has a tree guy in Korea. We'll see you, Annette. You'll cut out the felt tomorrow on the skin and cut and let me know how many clicks. Sounds good. Well, East Hampton's the fancy part. I grew up in Willimantic. We weren't fancy out there. My daughter reprimanded me today because I said, "You know who loves Cape Cod potato chips and French onion dip?" And she was like, "Who?" I go, "Momo." And she goes, "Maybe you shouldn't be giving them that." She's right. She's right. But I always have a bite and give my dogs a bite too. Because I go, they have taste buds. They know what tastes good. I wouldn't want to just eat kibble all day. Okay, so our tree guy has his dog here, and so the dog is outside the house, but it's freaking my dogs out, so they've been barking at him this whole time. Okay, I just put smoke in. Oh, there's no real onion in it. That's just like a little sour cream. And I know that say that, but I've watched all those dogs in Korea, and they feed their dogs kimchi. And they don't have, like, it's not a lot of onion. My parents definitely trimmed back their shrubs. And if you go to Korea, everyone grows. Everyone's got a garden. Everybody. Even in the city, like, everyone grows just like things that they eat. And so my parents had a huge garden behind the house, and we had lots of trees and shrubs, but the big ones, like the big maples and the oaks and all of that, I just don't remember ever doing anything with those. I just remember every once in a while we'd have like a big storm and like a branch would fall down. I was amazed because I was at my friend's house and she goes, guess who loves these? And she had a cucumber. And her dog loves cucumber. I was like, I didn't know dogs love cucumber. Okay, so we are stitching out. This is the light foliage fills and detail. And then we're going to put in our, you're going to put in your wild plum. I'm going to put in my iris. And we're going to stitch the left falling leaf fill. This design, oh, guess what? Remember when I said there's not that much going on with this design? I don't think it'll take that long. This design's 50 minutes, so it's even longer than the other one. Trish, I want to have a huge, so when we retire someday, Patrick Mulligan is going to plant me a big garden. He told me he's going to garden. And I was like, okay, I'll believe it when I see it because that man's never planted anything. But he says he's going to garden. I want to garden because there's so many things that, like, I really want Thai basil, and I really want, like, there's a couple of things I really want to grow that you don't get at the supermarket as much. I know I can get Thai basil, but I can't just go to Raley's and get that. I have to go to the Asian grocery store. So there's some things I want to just be able to grow. I want to go grow that, and I want to grow sesame leaves. Okay, after we stitch this, you're going to put in your wild plum or your iris, and you're going to stitch the left falling leaf fill, and then we're going to do a bunch of stuff with clover. So I have clover ready too. Oh, we were going to press too. I'm going to heat up my iron. Okay, if you're really having trouble getting puckers out, this is a miracle product. It's the OESD press cloth. The first person who ever showed this to me was Carolyn Lindsay, and she saw it on a cruise. So it was a product that they used on the cruise. She was like, you've got to see this. And she brought one in and we used it, and I was like, that's pretty amazing. So let's go ahead, and you're going to put your iris in. I'm heating my iron up right now. So my iron's heating, and then we'll go ahead and press the bottom of that, the block that we just did that has all the puckering. Yeah, Trish, you got to use it. If you're having puckering issues, put that on top of your wool mat. It works. Okay, then you're going to be using this piece because we're going to do our grass right here. You should have cut it so that the stripes are up and down and it's long. Why on top of the mat? Oh, I mean, well, you have to put it on some kind of ironing surface, right? So I usually opt to just go straight on wool mat. But if I have something that's really stubborn, a really big pucker, then I'll use that press cloth. But usually I just use my wool mat, and that's enough. Okay, I'm going to take this out. We are going to put in our clover, and we're going to stitch the grass placement line. I'm going to take my fabric and give it a little shot of spray with my KK100. Okay, they're sold out of KK100. I get it directly from Gnold. I have never seen them sold out, ever, which makes me a little bit nervous. I sent them a note saying, when are you going to get this back in stock? And they haven't answered me. So I have 2 cans. Okay, there's my little spray tent. So if you weren't here when I started, this is where I spray. I'm going to grab this. I know he's all flopped over because he's hanging off the table. That's my spray. This is the economy line. The premium line is like twice the price. And I've never felt like this economy line was not enough. It's always been enough for me. So that's what I continue to use. I keep telling myself that I'm going to bind it because I have cut through, because it looks like a piece of batting. So I keep saying I'm going to bind it, and then I never do. So one has gone, one did get cut up once. I was like, binding. I just cut it. All right, we're going to put this down. And now we're going to go ahead and do the tack down. Place the grass right side up. This fabric is directional. Stitch the grass tack down line. And then we're going to trim close to the line. So you're going to want to use your snips. And then we're going to stitch the grass decorative outline. While it's doing the decorative outline, that's when I'll go ahead and press the other piece. What needles are you using when you spray? These are my favorite needles. These are Oregon anti-glue. They also sell these. Madeira sells some. They're more expensive. And then there's another brand. I think they're like Best Premium needles. They're even more expensive. And they're all the same. Like the Madeira ones look like this. They look just like this. The same packaging. It just says Madeira. And then the Best Premium, same packaging. And then it says Best Premium. These are the best priced ones, and so I just get these. Oregon, of course, they like sell them the cheapest, right? Let's go ahead and trim this. What I love about these, I don't even know what's in there. I honestly didn't check my needle beforehand, but these are my favorite embroidery needles because they're anti-glue. And I also love them because the color. They're gunmetal. So I knew that right away that one wasn't this needle because it wasn't gunmetal. So if I take it out and I just throw it on top of my machine, I go, oh, those are my anti-glue needles. So the needles that I use the most, I use these. I use the anti-glue needles, the Oregon anti-glue needles, and then I use the 8012 Microtex needles. And that's what I use my Microtex needles. I use it to embroider and to piece. I feel like the 8012 Microtex needle is your best all-round needle. And now when you buy the Schmetz, when you buy the piecing and quilting set, that's the needle in there, the 8012 Microtex. So that's what they recommend for piecing. There we go. All right. Decorative stitch, you're going to leave that green in there. I'm going to slide my hoop back on. And while it's doing the decorative stitch, let's go ahead and press. Whoop. My cord is unplugged. Let me look at your comments really quickly. What do you, oh, you embroider on them. I should do that. I should embroider on it, right? Okay. Normally I just use my wool mat. Face down, and then, oh, I gotta get my spray bottle. Okay, how cute is this? Yesterday, Kai came downstairs and he asked me to show him how to iron his shirt. I was like, oh yeah, we can do that. So your goal is for this to sit flat. Right now you can see it's like it's rippled here, here, and down on the bottom. And then if you really, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the embroidery to bed down and then the fabric to kind of spread out around it. Let's put our next color in because we don't have time to just sit here and not be embroidering too. So it wants you to stitch the left falling leaf. You're just going to hit start. So the next two steps, this step and this step, they're both clover. So you're going to hit start and then you're going to hit start again. And then while it's doing that, we're going to be pressing. Okay. Now, I thought that's what the press cloth was for, right? It says press puckers out of embroidered fabrics, prevents embroidery texture from getting crushed, and absorbs steam to set a perfectly pressed finish. Use over and over. So that has a little bit of give, and that's why the wool mats are nice because they have a little bit of give. You're going to see on it, look, you can see when I used it because it pushed the embroidery into it and then the fabric gets to spread around. I'm just going to hit start on my machine. Just put it down in here. And you want to use some, you want it to be damp. You don't want to do it dry. I actually stand on my tippy toes. It's all gone. Look, pucker's all gone. I will press one direction and then I'll go ahead and I'll press the other direction. So it's almost all out. I'm going to press this direction too. But you're going to see the indent of the... All gone. Pucker's all gone. And don't worry about the line being a little bit distorted. You're going to fussy cut to that. How's that? Maybe you have the tiniest bit, but not really like what we had before. So don't be scared of those puckers. You can get them out with a combination of this pressing cloth. A lot of times I just press directly into my wool mat. But you want to use something that's moist. Looks perfect. Perfect. All right, back to our regular scheduled programming. How you use towels, I love that. I mean, that's great too, right? It's something that has a little bit of give. That's what you want. Yeah, all that is water. I personally do not put water in my iron because I do sometimes. There's times where I don't use it for a while, and then it always happens. I'm on like something white, and I go to iron, and something icky and brown comes out of the iron. So yeah, I personally I use water in a spray bottle. We should go ahead and trim this now too. Let's go ahead and trim it. Oh, we need our, is this 6x8? So we can use our pop ruler. The other ones were skinny. They were like 4x8, right? So don't fear those pressing cloths. Okay, here we go. So here's my 6x8 pop ruler. What's great about the pop rulers, instead of having a ruler that sits on top, sometimes when there's dimension, it'll shift on you. I don't know if you've ever gone to cut and you're like, oh, it slid. This is nice because it's a big open space, and now you can go ahead and you can frame it to that last tack down. That's why you want the tack down not to be white, because it's harder to see. So do it in a color. And you're going to look at all sides, and look how far off we are. Like, it's never going to fit. I don't know if you can see that. It's never going to fit perfectly. Don't cut to that line. You're just fussy cutting to that line. Okay? All right. I'm going to go ahead and cut right now. Well, no. I'm going to see what's next here. Because it just signaled us that we're ready for the next step. All right. Put in your aloe. It wants to stitch the right falling leaf stem. Aloe is your darker green. Navy man. Oh, so yeah. So Kai, I'm going to buy him an ironing board. He's like, how do I iron a shirt? And like, oh my goodness, we have thunder. And it's raining. So, my mom taught me how to iron a shirt. And I was like, oh my God, I can't show you how to iron because I don't have an ironing board. I literally do not have an iron. At this point, if I have something that doesn't survive the dryer and come out nice and come out looking nice, then I don't want it. So I don't have an ironing board. I had to show him on my wool mat. And it's not the same. What? Oh, is it like storming out there? I can hear it. We're probably just going to end up doing these 2 blocks, and then we're going to call it a day. I'll see what I can get done during the week. I will, if I stitch, I will record it and then post it. Ooh, he must be good, Sylvia. Okay, let's trim it. I think we have a little bit of time. I actually tidied up before. I'm going to look at it again. All right. You're going to push down and take your, you want this to kind of lean into the left. Into the pop ruler. Walk your hands up. If it's big, you want to walk your hands up. Hold the whole thing and then turn. You want a rotating mat because the rotating mat is going to save you from having to pick up the ruler. Sometimes you might have like a thread or 2 that don't cut. And look, perfect, right? Looks good. So don't fret if you have puckers. You can get them out. It looks incredible. For us in Reno, where it doesn't rain a ton, when it's pouring, that's like an event. My husband and both of them have come in to tell me it's incredible. I'm going to go look. Oh, wow.
It's like we've had like an inch of rain. Look at the end of the driveway. Trails for all time.
You did such a good job. With nothing here, just there.
Oh, you're talking about that.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh my God, it looks gorgeous. Looks so good, doesn't it? Okay.
do you want to eat early?
Yes. Oh, so I was talking to Debbie who lives in Iowa, and she said they got, I want to say 4 inches of rain and then 6 inches of rain, or 6 inches of rain and then 4 inches of rain, and then her sub pumps couldn't handle it, and then all the water got in the house. That's not fun. Skivvies, I love that word. Bed sheets. She would iron the bed sheets and the pillowcases. Not in my house. If anyone's going to be ironing those, it's going to be Patrick. Wow. I'd rather have the rain with the lightning, because at least the rain will put out the fires. No way now. But I remember I would iron my dad's work shirts because he always wore a dress shirt to work. I hope you're enjoying. Renee, how are you enjoying? Are you stitching right now on the Avenir? Hopefully you're loving it. I was absolutely loving my machine all day while I was working on Soul Blue. I was so excited. So, okay, hang on a second. Let me get my bookie book. So next thing we're going to do, we just did this. We're going to stitch the ground fill, and that's going to be in color D, which I think is timber. Like, I keep saying that, and it's always timber, but let me check, and it's timber. Get your brown. This is a nice brown. It's kind of like an earthy brown. It's got a little red hue to it. Yay! Wait till we do So Blue and you're using an 11.5 by 18 inch hoop. You're going to be in heaven. In heaven. I was worried. Like, I used it once and I was like, oh, it feels so big. And then today yesterday when I started, because I started off with my 10.5 by 16 inch hoop. Because you know how new things can be scary. Oh, wait. Anything here? Okay, so we're going to stitch the ground fill, but here there's some highlighted stuff. You got to pay attention to that. I love that. I love that they put highlighter. They pre-highlighted it for us. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to grab our J, which is military gold. So after we do the ground, we're going to do the sunflowers. And then if you plan to attach, oh yeah, you know it, I'm going to be doing the buttons. That means we can skip some steps. And then we'll do buttermilk. Lita, are you talking about which kit? Are you talking about So Blue or are you talking about this one? Because that's, okay. While I was doing the class, I was thinking, this class is so great. And I went on to Studio E to say if I could get any more bolts and panels. Nothing. So I might be able to whip up 1 or 2 more kits. But I was thinking about, for those people that won't be, and then I did a search online. The panel is called Behind Blue Eyes, I think. behind blue eyes panel. And I did a search and I found somebody that they obviously have a whole bolt of it. So if you could find the panel, but then if you can't find it, you can always use a Dream Big panel. It's like it's the technique that you're gonna learn that you can apply to anything. I would just order it online if you want it on our website, because I think I might have a couple of panels. Order it, and then I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to make a couple more kits. Ooh, look at all that puckering. You guys scared? Are you so scared? Don't be scared. We're going to get it out. Doesn't even worry me. So, Cindy's saying the embroidery is so much cuter than the buttons, but I'm still going to use those buttons. So just know it's an option. You do not have to use the buttons if you don't want them. But I love the buttons. I think the buttons are so cute. So here we go. Squirrel. That one's going to be, that's going to go on the house, on the general store. That pumpkin's gonna go right here. We're gonna put that pumpkin. Yep. Didn't turn out too bad. So if you did what I did, because I love that holographic. Well, I can say, Dee Dee, I've never met anyone who was born on a prune ranch, but now I know you. I thought prunes were plums. Here we go. Look at that grass. Okay, we've been composting. It's been something I've wanted for a long time, so I asked Patrick if he would get me a composter for Mother's Day. So it turned into a Mother's Day, Father's Day present. And we don't garden, though. So our neighbor across the street gardens. And so we called her and we said, Kathy, would you like compost? And she said, yes. So we brought it over, and I'm not bragging, well, I am a little bit, but she said our compost was the best looking compost she's ever gotten. So we bought this composter, and it comes with like a starter, kind of like, I guess, sourdough. You have a starter that you use. So we have the starter that we put in there, and I feel so much better not throwing away all of our compostable waste. Trish, if you were closer, I would give you compost too. Wow. Picking prunes gave you, you know what's given, cutting Kimberbell squares has given me a bad thumb. I can't wait till my manservant, Mr. Patrick Mulligan, builds me a beautiful garden and starts gardening, and then we'll use our compost on our garden. That brown is so delicious. I don't know if you can appreciate it. It looks darker, I think, in the video. Looks so good. Okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? Get your military gold. Military gold is next. We are 26 minutes into our 50-minute stitch out. If I had chickens, Renata, maybe my manservant, Mr. Patrick Mulligan, will agree to raise chickens too for me. I don't think we can in our house. I think it's against the HOA. Alrighty. Military gold. Military gold. This is a 5-minute stitch out. Dee Dee, where are you moving? Yes, when? So, when you have chickens, because you say, Trish, you said when you had 47 chickens, you had the best compost. So, did you use like the chicken waste as your compost? Like, what did you use? So cute. So this is when you watch something stitch out and you go, oh, those are just going to be like sunflower petals. But then it stitches out and you're like, oh, those are textured and the stitches go different directions that make it look so adorable. How do you pick up the, I don't know, like, do you rake it? Like, how do you pick up the chicken waste? Pine shavings. Oh, do you use the pine shavings? You use the pine shavings and the poo? I gotta take notes so I can give this to Mr. Patrick Mulligan. Oh, got it. So, but you're in Vegas, right? So are you moving to a different house in Vegas? I can't imagine gardening in Vegas. Can you garden in Vegas? Like, we struggle here in Reno because the soil's so bad. So great. I do plan on attaching the buttons. I do. So for me, I'm going to do this step and I plan on attaching the buttons. If you plan to attach the sunflower buttons to the block, skip this. I love that. I feel like I'm playing Chutes and Ladders. And right now, is it a chute? I don't know. It's a ladder, right? I'm skipping this step and I'm going ahead. Okay, and then I'll do this step. So if you are not using the button, you are going to do step 16. If you are using the button, you're going to skip this and go to step 17. Food scraps. Bunny waste. Bunny waste? Where are the bunnies? Actually, yesterday when we were walking the dogs, we came around the corner and Patrick goes, we have tons of bunnies, but we have a couple of hares. And I love them because they have like such long ears. And when they stand up, they're super tall. Oh, I'm so sorry, Dee Dee. Okay, Trish, I want chickens now. How do I get away with hiding the chickens from the HOA? That's what I need to know. Our HOA will, like, if you leave the trash can out too long, they'll take a picture and send it to you. This is a good time for you to be cleaning your sewing room because right here we've got a chunk of military gold. Right here's the best time. You're gonna have all of this time right here when it's gonna be stitching, and that's gonna be your whatchamacallit, buttermilk right there. I love the progress bar. That's like, I look at that progress bar to give me an idea of like if it's a quick stitch out or if it's going to take a long time. That's sweet, Dee Dee. You got a good one. You got lucky. Aren't those sunflowers cuter than the buttons? Yeah, but you're gonna get some of them. You're gonna have 2 buttons, and then you're gonna have the rest. So how many are there? Let's look. Oh yeah. So you'll get the opportunity to have stitched sunflowers here and button sunflowers here, which I am gonna do. What are you gonna do with all the buttons if you don't use them now? I always tell Patrick that if anything ever happened to him, then I would never be with anyone else because he's the best thing that ever happened to me and that I'd never be able to replace him. And then Patrick says, if anything ever happened to me, he would never be with anyone because he would like to not have to take care of anyone else but himself. He said it'd be nice to just take care of himself for a change, is what he said to me. He does. He takes care of me. Okay. I'm going to skip the next step. If you are going to use the buttons, then you're going to skip this step. If you are going to stitch them, go ahead and stitch that. To skip a step, you're going to hit this down arrow. That's going to go to your next step. And here we go. Buttermilk. I told Patrick that if we ever go, we should go out like in the Notebook, and that we should just be staring into each other's eyes in our internal love embrace and just take our last breaths together. But he doesn't. He said no. He said no, he wouldn't do that with me. Here we go. So I skipped the bottom 2, stitching the bottom 2 because I'm going to be using the buttons right here. Sylvia, that's a great idea, right? Because I know when I did Whisk You, that's when I was super lazy, and then if I saw buttons, all I thought in my head was hot glue gun. So what I'm going to tell you is do not hot glue gun your buttons because they're going to fall off, and then you're going to be sad. So, but that is perfect. If you do want to hot glue, then you should always stitch out the flowers and then put the buttons on them. But then you'll get icky glue on them. So, but that's a good idea because what if those buttons fall off? Then you are saved in a pinch. Oh my God. Lita, that's what I told Patrick. He'd have another woman right away too because he's a relationship guy. Patrick's one of those guys that always had a girlfriend. usually sew my buttons on with my machine. I don't know. These look a little wide. Let's test them. I'll go get the button sewing on foot. I wanted to sew on the buttons for stitching hour and they were too far apart, so I couldn't do it. Okay, this, if you have a brother or baby lock machine, this is the foot that you sew the button on with. The eyes have to fit between those two red dots. And most buttons, they make them close enough that you can sew them on. Go ahead. We'll test these. Here we go. So this foot has this metal piece on the back. And you're going to put the button in between the white part and the metal part. You might be, let me see. I think you could do it. Let me see. It'd be really, really tough. Do you see? You might be able to do it. You're going to have to definitely increase your stitch width. I don't know. That looks pretty good there though, right? We'll give it a go. I'll show you how to do this on the machine. Okay? I usually sew them on with the machine and I do it twice. I let it run one cycle and then I hit the start stop button and I let it do another cycle. So we'll see if it works, if we can do it. Your machine's set up to 3.5 millimeters if you have a baby lock or a brother. We'll definitely have to make them a little bit wider. Oh yeah, definitely hand roll a couple of times before you just hit the start button. There's a lot of things for your needle to hit. Looking good. We've got 13 more minutes left. After we stitch this, because we are doing step 17 right now, we're gonna go here. If you plan to attach the sunflower buttons to the block, skip this, yay! I'm skipping step 18. I will be going to step 19. Oh, snap, we get to skip this too. Is it getting a little more tempting using the buttons? Look at all that skipping. You get to take all those ladders. Sylvia, I love that name, Disco. Oh, man. Poppy was pretty destructive. She, like, chewed a hole in her dog bed, and then once she got a little stuffing out, she started pulling it all out. The worst with her was she did chew on some wood stairs and some molding. That was the worst. Momo doesn't do anything bad. He's an angel. These are super cute. This would be really adorable on a little shirt. And look at the stitching. Like you don't look at the pillow and go, oh my God, the stitching on the sunflowers is amazing. But then it stitches out and you see it. Mine's going to be so cute with the little sunflower right here. Come on, that's really cute. I like it because it's dimensional. Because we have the stitched one and then we have this. He's cute. Did I stitch the apple? Which apple? I don't even remember. Was it the apple on the, I can't remember. Should we do some, you know what? I'm going to do some trimming on this. All right, where is it? That's not what I wanted. Okay, what are we doing? So we just finished up step number 17. I'm going to skip step 18 because I am using the buttons. So I'm going to do this step. This is sandcastle. So I'm going to go to step 19, which means I have to come to my screen. I've got to hit my down arrow to go to the next step, and I'm going to be doing those. Sandcastle, you're so gorgeous. What a name. I think I stitched an apple, but I think that was the same thing where there were like apple buttons, one apple button and one to stitch out. But I'm all about skipping steps if I can. I gotta find those blocks. Maybe they're at the store. I have a Thomas Kincaid tiling scene that I lost 2 blocks. So I haven't finished it. But I refuse to stitch them out again because I know I have them somewhere. Okay. Let's do some jump thread trimming. Okay, if you... Oh, I'm having trouble. Let's see if I can get this to go here. Nope, it's going to pop up. All right, where am I going to do it? We'll do it right here. Let's see if it'll stay. Okay, here we go. Jump thread trimming. You've got a couple options. So, I love them both. These are side hoppers. They have little feet and they sit on your fabric. You always want to do it with a pair of tweezers too. So you're going to use the pair of tweezers to hold the thread up. And then get the little feet down and cut, okay? So you want to trim your threads because it just makes it look nice and finished. Now the other thing I have is I have the Perfect Snips. And I have the Tula Pink pair that I love because the Tula Pink pair matches the tweezers. But I can't find them right now. These are the OESD ones. They do the same job. I'm sure they're exactly the same because they're all made by Famore. So this one, I like these because you have the little hook that you get under there. I know the little ones are cute, aren't they? I go back and forth and go, I love these best. And then I'll decide I like the other ones best. So same thing. You still want to do it with the tweezers. And this is nice because if there is... if it's a jump thread and it's stitched down on one end, then you just like put your little hook under the end. And I will cut this way and this way because I feel like you get closer in different directions. What's this guy? But you want to grab that thread and hold it up nice and taut. Is that it? I don't have anything? We're done? What about this guy right here? Is this something? I guess I don't have anything to trim. Looks good. How about him? Is that a jump thread? In his face? All right, that's it. We got them all. Oh, here we go. With the numbers. So get that little hook under one end. Is that a jump thread? I can't tell. Yeah, he is. We're going to cut it one direction. Then get your tweezers, hold them up, and get them the other direction. Sometimes I feel like I get closer with the side hoppers, and sometimes I feel like I get closer with the OESD ones. And quite honestly, oh yeah, let's do the general store. Whichever pair I can find, that's the pair I love, because there's always one that I can't find. You're right. Look at all of these. Why wasn't I thinking this? Did I get him? Okay, hang on. What are we on? Sorry, I was so focused on jump threads, I forgot that we were embroidering. Whoops. That was this step right here. We just did step number 19. I'm skipping this step because I'm using the buttons. I'm going to put my timber in and do step 21. And then we'll cut the rest of the jump threads. We're getting the jump thread. Where's my timber? Here we go. Why does the Avenir... Oh, it does. The machines will not cut the jump thread if it's 5 millimeters or smaller. So if it's just like a little piece in between, it doesn't cut them. I don't know why. I don't know why it doesn't cut them, but it cuts everything else. It's got to be something mechanical that makes it like not possible. But it cuts them. It's just the ones that, like I said, if it's 5 millimeters, and 5 millimeters is about that far, right? So if it's 5 millimeters or less, then it doesn't cut. You need the side hoppers, yeah. They come in pink and green, but when I order them, they send me whatever they have. I don't have a choice. So sometimes we have pink and sometimes we have green. So you get what you get. Sometimes I have both, but that's rare. I guess I can't get the little toe under anything there. I'm just going to leave that. Everything else looks great. Does that look amazing? Look at, what's the squirrel doing hanging out at the store? Right? Why a squirrel? That cracks me up. What's the squirrel? I've never been to a store where the squirrel's been hanging out in front. Looking for nuts. Yeah, this will automatically cut all your jump thread. I mean, look at all of this. We have this is 27 color changes. Color changes, so it doesn't count like every, like that, even more if you count all the times it cuts. So it cuts everything, just not the little. I'll have to ask Charles. Why doesn't it cut? Why can't it cut everything? Okay, are we done? What are we on? So we just finished the centers, and we're done. Yeah, because this last step, I'm skipping. If you use traditional quilting, remove the basic. Okay, so we didn't have to do that. We are done. So here is our sunflower block, 50 minutes minus some minutes because I'm using the buttons. And we are going to end here. 7:30, I'm going to go make dinner with the family and get ready to be back at the store this week. Do you guys have any questions? Why I absconded. the suture scissors. If you don't have any questions, then I will plan on seeing you next Monday. I'm going to do another evening sew along. I like to alternate and do morning, evening, morning, evening. But this weekend I'm going to be in Dallas, and I fly in. I get in super late on Sunday night. So in case I'm super tired in the morning, I thought I would just push it off to the evening. Plan on stitching out. I will do for homework block. This is 2 and 3. So I'll do block 4 for homework. And then next week, we're going to stitch 5 and 6, and we'll do the borders. So that's the plan, Stan. Have a great night. This will automatically render and go up onto the YouTube page. So if you are watching it and then you want to watch it again and stitch along with it later, you can do that. And don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe, and we will see you later. Yes, so next week, we're going to do 4 o'clock again. 4 my time, Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock East Coast time, and so on and so forth. And I will see you later. Bye, guys.